Hi my lovies and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be such a fun video. shaaanxo come up with this tag called the full face of old favorites. I sometimes don't know what tags to do, but this tag totally caught my eye. When shaaanxo uploaded it, I was like, yes, have to do it. I love her. I followed her for years and years, like before I even had my channel. She was actually one of the inspirations behind me starting YouTube, so I want to thank her for that. But she came up with this tag basically doing a full face of all your old favorites. For me, it's going to be favorites from when I first started my YouTube channel. So around 2013-14, I'm only kind of consistently uploading for the last 2 years. So these are going to be really old favorites from back in the day, which I'm excited to talk about today. I went through like really old videos of mine, like when I first started uploading, and they're very cringy as it is. But I noticed that I wore my hair a lot like this and I was like, oh my god, that hairstyle! I used to wear that hairstyle into school every single day. I used to just back home the hell out of my hair and put it up like this. This hairstyle is totally giving me like feels from back in the day. I did notice as well when I was looking at my old videos that I didn't really know what I was doing when it came to makeup. Not that I know too much more now. So I'm gonna start off with my base. Now I didn't use a base. I actually used moisturizer, which is okay. I used to use the Nivea Intensive Moisturizer. I'm going to talk about a primer that I first discovered when I discovered what primers were, if that makes any sense to you guys. So this is the first primer that I ever used on my face, and it is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. This is like nearly all out, so if I get any primer out of this, we will be laughing. When it came to foundations, there was only two that I was ever using at that stage. It was either the Estee Lauder Double Wear in the colour Wheat, or my MAC Studio Fluid Fix in NC35. So that was one or the other that I was either using. So I'm going to use this one today and I'm going to see, do I still like it? Because I have not worn this foundation in a while, like a couple of months maybe. I did not use a beauty blender back then. I usually used the Real Techniques complexion sponge, or I would have used a dual stippling brush from MAC, the 187. Now I'm not going to use that one either because I don't like that brush at all. I've used that even recently and I do not like it. Is this foundation a bit dark? I don't know. It's a bit darker than my face anyway. The smell of this foundation just brings me right back. First time I ever got this foundation was when I was in school. My friend Jenna at the time worked in MAC in the airport. So when she'd come visit me, she'd bring me MAC products. So that was kind of like my introduction to MAC. Probably when I was about, what age was she when she worked there? She was about 18 maybe, so I would have been about 16 at the time. I think this foundation is applying quite well. It's exactly how I remember it, but like I said, it's only been a couple of months since I've used it. It's not like it's been years. Okay, back in the day I would have finished my entire face and then moved on to my eyes, but now I do my eyes first and then do the rest of my face. And to set my eyes, this is such an OG throwback makeup product, but it is the Essence I Love Stage Eyeshadow Base. I was obsessed with this. This is the first eyeshadow base that I ever purchased. I wanted to get MAC Painterly, but I could not afford that at the time, so I instead went with this one. And I still think that this is available. Like, I did a full face of Essence makeup not too long ago and I picked it up then. I'm gonna set that using today's eyeshadows, which are the Naked eyeshadows. I don't need to really explain too much about this because I think this was everybody's first palette. This is actually my second one of this because this was so well loved and well used that there was absolutely nothing left. And I used to use Book as my eyebrow product before I actually discovered proper eyebrow products. So I'm just going to use a translucent powder on my eyeballs. Definitely not go in with eyeshadow now over a sticky base. Eyebrows have looked better, so ignore that, guys. I hope you can see me, I hope I'm in focus. I'm gonna go in with this shade here, which is Naked. I actually had a look that I used to do back in the day, so I'm gonna try and recreate it. So I used Naked through the crease. Just so pale. Doesn't even show up in my eyes. I don't know, is that the pigmentation of the shadow? Or maybe it's just what I'm seeing in the viewfinder. Who knows? Okay, next I'm gonna go in with Book and I'm gonna place that through the crease as well. Guys, I'm just gonna say something. I haven't used my Naked palettes in a while, like my Naked one in particular. I use my Naked 2 kind of regularly enough. Pigmentation is not as good as I remember it, and they're not as blendable as I remembered them. I think it might be because I'm using the Anastasia ones and I'm using more Too Faced and stuff. I just don't find these as good as I remembered them. They're kind of blurring into one whole mesh. I did this eye and I don't know, I'm not really that keen. This is a palette that I haven't used probably in about 3 years, maybe 2 years, and I'm just not that keen on it anymore. So for the inner portion of my eye, I'm going to take this one here, Half Baked. And I've just placed a bit of, would you believe, MAC's Fix Plus onto the brush, because the shadows are just, like I said, not as pigmented on their own. They definitely need a little bit of help. So I'm just placing that gold shade on the inner kind of portion of my eye. Next, I'm going in with Smog, which is just the shade beside it. And I used to always place this kind of in the center part of the lid and just kind of blend it through the gold. Finally, on the outer portion of the eye, I'm taking the one and only Dark Horse. That was like my favorite shadow back in the day, out of this palette in particular. And I actually used it up so much in the Naked palette that I needed to buy the shadow on its own, because I was just like, I can't live without that shadow. I loved it because it was just a mix between a brown and a black. Ugh, I don't know if it's my application that's just really bad or it's just these shadows. Nothing is working out well with them. Difficult to blend, and when I do blend them, they're kind of blending away to nothing. Okay, that's kind of the best I can do with it. I'm going to go in with Creep down here, which is like a dark glittery black shade, I suppose. And I'm just going to run that along the tape. I've always done this tape trick as well, guys, because I'm not a makeup artist and I get a bit sloppy with eyeshadow, so it just helps me to keep it all together. And then I'm just going to blend that out. That was the look that I used to wear back in the day. Finally, I would pop a bit of highlight, so I'm going to take Virgin and I'm going to apply that underneath the brow. And then I would go in with something like Sin, so a really kind of shimmery shade, and I place that right into the tear duct. I used to use the Collection Fast Stroke liquid liner, but I couldn't find that. It was out of stock when I went into my Boots the other day when I was preparing for this video. So I'm not going to do any liquid liner because I just feel like if I'm not using that one, then I don't want to use any one because that's the one I used. But to line my waterline, top and bottom, I used to use this one. This is the waterproof one from Bourjois, and it is Black Party. I used to have this one and a cobalt blue one, which we will see in a minute. I always make the most possessed looking face when I'm doing this. And then I would pop it into my waterline on the bottom as well. So I'm going to go in with my eyebrow product next. Other than Book out of the Naked palette, what I used to use was this. This is totally an OG eyebrow product for me, and it's the e.l.f. eyebrow kit. This is in the colour Light. I used to use the colour Medium. I don't know why I picked up Light for this. Wow, trying to find a clean eyebrow brush is just impossible. So I'm going to go in with the wax first because that's what I used to do, and then I would set it with the powder. I used this eyebrow product recently and I don't know, it wasn't as good as I remember. I now use the Brow from Benefit and I just love that. I'm just going to set that then with a powder. Set all the little hairs down. Okay guys, next we're going to talk about concealer. This concealer might be a surprise to you guys because I think you may be thinking I'm going to be using the Collection concealer, but an old favourite of mine was actually the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. This is the first concealer that I ever kind of really loved, and I only discovered Collection kind of afterwards. So I'm going to apply that underneath my eyes. The way that I used to apply this was I would kind of do the same thing. I would apply it underneath my eyes, into blemishes for some reason, but I would do it underneath my foundation, which is not a good look. This concealer I still like because I still use it to this day. I wouldn't use a sponge or brush or anything. I would just blend it all in with my finger. I can imagine what it looked like on my skin, half blended in and streaky and First under eye setting powder that I remember really loving was this one here. This is the e.l.f. one. This is the first one that I ever used. It's a high definition under eye setting powder. You can buy this for about €2. I buy mine on iHerb and I love this setting powder. I used to have tons of the stuff. Favorite powder ever. I don't know, I've been using this for a very long time. To be honest, I'd be shocked if this wasn't everybody's favorite powder. Anyway, it is just such a good powder. I still use it to this day. Not as much though, I will say. It is the Rimmel Stay Matte Press powder, and I always used and always will use the colour 005 Silky Beige. Can I make a comment about the foundation? I have not worn this foundation in the longest time ever, but I feel like I am caked with this foundation. This just looks real heavy, I don't know. Okay guys, lower lash line time. I'm going to show you two products that I used to wear a lot on my lower lash line. They're these two pencils. So I used to use this one here, which is called Bleu Can't pronounce that because it's in French, but I will write down the name of it below. And then I used to use the darker one, which is in the shade Blue Neon. So they were my two favorite pencils. Like, I mean, you can see how low this one is. I have not used this in years. I used to run this underneath my lower lash line on the inner corner. I would have like neon blue underneath my lower lash line. I actually think that eyeliner is kind of cool, not gonna lie. So then I would take this shade, the darker one, Blue Neon. And then on the outer portion, I used to just smudge a little bit of black. And that was what I used to wear all the time. And the next step for me was, are you ready for this, guys? Electric Eel from MAC. Jimmy purchased this for me when he was away in, I can't remember where he was, in Holland or Norway or somewhere. He was away with work and he picked it up in the airport and he was like to me, Aisling, that colour that you're obsessed with is like a bright, bright neon blue. And I was like, yeah, that's the colour that I want. I wore this to death and I wore it all over my lid as well. And I would place Electric Eel over it. I wouldn't place it over the darker blue. I would place it over just the light blue. For mascara, this is still a favourite mascara of mine, and it's the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara. I bought this like not that long ago. I still like it and I used to wear this to death. That and the Telescopic. I was kind of torn between the two, but I think Voluminous is definitely more of an OG mascara and definitely one that I just loved so much. And I have Marlena from Makeup Geek to blame for that. Okay, the face products are going to be fun, guys, because I have fun products here in front of me. For bronzer, I used to love either the Bourjois Chocolate Dulce Soleil powder. It's a ratchet mess on the inside. This is so old. Or the MAC bronzer. It was actually a mineralized skin finish in dark. This is for darker complexioned girls and guys. This is not for my skin tone, but I used to use it as a bronzer. So I don't know which one is more of an OG product. I think this one is. Me and one of my besties, Michelle, used to rock this bronzer. Like, I mean, rock it. This is like orange. Oh god, Aisling, what were you doing? What did you look like? I dread to even know what I look like. I said there was like nights I was going out and my face was like fluorescent, like a traffic cone. Might I also add, just to terrify you a little bit more, I did not apply my bronzer like the way I did today. I used to go like this. It would be all over my face, like everywhere. I would not be into this as a bronzer anymore, but back then I thought it was amazing. Thebomb.com. For a blusher, there was two blushers that I was obsessed with. They were both from MAC. One was this one here, which is called Style. The next one is Dolly Mix. This is my second or third one of them. I have not picked up this blush in possibly about 2 or 3 years maybe, but I was obsessed with both of these. You can see that they are well loved, well used. I'm gonna go with this one today because I just think it'll go best with my blue eyeliner. I'm not sure that this will go very well with it, but that was like the blush I wore everywhere and I was very proud of that blush. I look back at videos where it's like all here and not blended back. Oh, this blush is probably, yeah, it's still really pretty actually. This is kind of a blush that I would be into right now. This is probably everybody's OG highlighter. It is for me. It's Soft and Gentle from MAC. This is not nice on my skin anymore, I will say that. I have used it recently. I don't like it. I'm gonna have to spritz my brush with MAC's Fix Plus. It's just a bit too glittery for me. I mean, your tastes change and my taste has even changed over the last year. This is showing up way too much texture on my skin. It is just like highlighting it all to bits. I'm gonna put a bit over my lip. Definitely not something I would have done back then, but just for the purpose of this video. I don't know, it looks okay in the monitor, but I don't know, in person it's very, very glittery. Very glittery. Okay, for lip liner, guys, it was either this one here, which is Cute Pink from Essence, or the other one was this one, Gosh lip liner in Nugget Crisp. I loved that lip liner. Let's just use the pink one for old time's sakes. Getting throwback feels right now. Really am. For lipstick, this one here, which I'm not going to use today because I've used it so much, and it's Creme Cup. You guys know that I love Creme Cup. Creme Cup and Angel I'm not going to use, but they are like my most used lipsticks. Probably repurchased them about 5 times. Another lipstick that I used to wear to death, like I mean all the time, was this one here, and it is in the colour Lovelorn. But I think this is the one that I am going to use. I actually think I went through a couple of tubes of this and I haven't worn it in a long time, so let's try it out. This is MAC's Snob. Oh god. This is the Coolest Tone Barbie Pink Lipstick. This is Aisling circa 2012, 100% this lip product. I don't know what I was thinking. Found something in my collection that I should throw out, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use it. If my lips fall off and I die, then you will know why. It's because of this product. This was my favorite lip gloss a few years ago. This was from H&M and it's in the color True Beauty. I used to die over this lip gloss, like always wear this lip gloss. It actually still smells like normal lipstick. It's probably because it's very rarely used. I don't know why I have this. I really don't know why. I'm clearly a hoarder. But that was like my favorite lip gloss ever. But yeah, this is my original makeup tutorial, old favorites, how I used to do my makeup. I would probably throw on some lashes as well, but because I have my eyelash extensions on, I don't want to rip them out. So I'm going to wear this for another video because I'm going to do my monthly favorites next, and I think it's appropriate to wear old favorites into a new favorites video. I'm going to probably take the lip gloss off as soon as that video is filmed because I'm just afraid that I'm going to get like an infection or something. Just before I go, I want to kind of just discuss the products that I used today and which ones I'm loving, which ones I'm not loving as much anymore, and I don't know why they were favorites back in the day because they don't work out for me anymore, or maybe they just looked bad back then. The foundation, it's fine, it's grand, but I'm just not into that real like heavy coverage foundation anymore. The bronzer, I know what I was thinking with the MAC bronzer. Girl, no. The MAC highlighter, Soft and Gentle. Not a big fan of that anymore. I'm much more into the like smoother, creamier consistency of highlights. I will say I do still really like the blush, and I really like the concealer. Obviously I still use that, and the under eye setting powder from e.l.f. Love that. I'm actually kind of liking the blue under eye. I obviously didn't wear it very well back then though, but I'm liking it now. The e.l.f. brow powder wasn't too bad in the end. The Naked palette was the thing that surprised me the most out of everything because I just remembered it being so much better than it was, and I was kind of a bit bummed about that. I thought I'd love it again. The lip products, they're not really me anymore, but I mean, this color is just too cool tone for me. I'm just not into it anymore. I'm more into like mauves and stuff like that, but it's not that bad. The lip liner, they're the Essence lip liners. I love all of those lip liners. Maybe not the color so much anymore. And then the lip gloss, like the formulation of it is nice and stuff. The color is just not for me anymore. The colors of my lips are just not for me. But yeah, that was the completed look anyway. Guys, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like me to do more tags or challenges, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what you would like me to do in my next video. Also, what is your OG or your old favorite makeup product? I would love to know. Leave it in the comment section below. I can't wait to go reading through and see what you guys were loving. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you probably in 2 or 3 more days. I love you lots and lots and lots, and I will see you very soon. Mwah! Bye!